objective number 1 for me? Can someone raise their hand and read it for me? Tessa. So we're going to go over some different editing symbols that you'll use. We'll practice them here. I'll hand out a sheet and you'll practice them with that. And then we will be able to use it in our personal narratives to be able to edit our own and other people's. Chase, you may be hands-free. Can I have someone read objective number 2? Andrew.
I can use cups and symbols.
We went over cups a while ago. Can anybody remind me what cups is? I think it's in my writing folder. Trace?
It's that there on the back.
It is. So it's on the back wall as well as.
Yeah, third grades and PEs. So we have 3 third graders.
It's also in the writing folder.
Oh, good.
Yes, it's also in our writing folder. So that is what we'll be grading your personal narratives off of. So when we're editing using our symbols, you can go back to your cups and see what you're going to be expected of. Okay, so I'm going to read this and I want you to look for editing errors. Okay, we're going to think about editing errors as I read it. But first I'm going to hand out our different symbols. Who are mine? Andre and Caitlin, can I have you out? Everyone gets one of these. So as you get these sheets, we're going to go over them, and they're going to be the different symbols that we use to edit. So then, if you're looking at your piece of paper, or you're looking at another person's personal narrative, and they're editing your personal narrative, when you look at your personal narrative, you'll be able to tell what things need to be changed on your personal narrative, because we'll all be using the same sheet.
She said she needs to see me before I go home.
Okay.
Okay, so I need our finger and eyes on symbol with the 3 lines. Does everybody have one? Okay, great. Thank you, Andre and Caitlin.
I don't think
He does, thank you. Okay, so the 3 lines at the top means capitalize. The slanted line means make lowercase. So if you put the slanted line through the letter, that means to make it lowercase. If you do SP with a circle around it, that means a spelling mistake, and I've been doing that on a lot of your papers as we've gotten up to this process, so you should be familiar with that one. And then the little caret half is an add word or punctuation. And then I want you to put in, so if you do the little caret, you do a little caret and add the word that you want to add there. The next symbol, I want you to put a small little X through that. We aren't going to do that symbol, so put a little X over that symbol.
what's the one?
The symbol that looks like a V. Add quotation. The one that looks like a V. Put a little X through that symbol. Right here.
What?
A little X through that one. Yes, Piper.
What if they did miss quotation mark?
If they did miss quotations, we're just going to put quotation marks in for them. I just don't want it to get confusing with the add words or punctuation with the little hat and then the add quotation marks. Those symbols are just a little too similar, so we don't want to make it confusing. So we're just going to add the quotations. Then we have add a period. So make sure you circle the period, and that's what I've been doing with your writing as well, because sometimes it's hard to see a period when it's just a little dot. Grace, you may have your eyes on your piece of paper. And then we have delete word. So you're going to just do a little loop through it. Just a little whoop. And through the word that needs to be deleted. Then we're going to put an X through the close up space. So the one that looks like this. The one that looks like a circle, but it's
Like
not connected.
Looks like it got like
This, and we're going to do an X through it. Just through that one. Because we're not going to do closing up space. Luke, make sure you hold on to your pencil. to.
Morning attention middle schoolers that are involved in cross country. You are released for cross country today. There are 7 students that are involved in cross country, so wish them the very best. Go Vikes and Valkyries.
Okay, now we're gonna be hands-free, eyes on me, and I'm gonna read through this little paragraph, and we're gonna edit it. So I need you to pay close attention because we're gonna go through as a class and edit. At the start of school, Dora was afraid of being new teacher. Miss Davis seemed nice, but she had so many rules for the class to follow. Scare someone to pieces. As the school year continued, Dora begun to understand how the teacher come up with the rules. The rules were there so students would be respectful of themselves and each other. By the end of the year, Dora, though Mrs. Davis was the best teacher she ever had. Okay, voices should be off. If you have input, you may raise your hand. Yes. Do you see a correction?
Every wrong.
Okay.
Ever. I mean, ever at the very bottom.
Ever. So, great. So, what is the mark I need to make through the word Abbas?
Do SP and then circle.
SP and circle. Great.
SP when you circle the word.
Great. You can circle the word, but you don't have to if it's right next to it, but you can. We also don't want it to get too messy, so make sure when you circle carefully. So many people are noticing and it's Chase. Begun. Yes. Where are we at?
Kind of in the middle.
Begun. And what about begun? Needs to be switched. How so? Delete. So if we say Dora to understand how the teacher, so that would be deleting the word. What's a different thing that we could do to correct that word? Spell check. How should it be spelled? Dora blank to understand how the teacher. Began. Yes. So yeah. Dora began to understand how the teacher. Great. Lily?
At the top,
Yes.
it says he. That's supposed to say that.
So at the start of the school year, Dora was afraid of the. Correct. So what would I do?
We need to do. Doesn't say one of these that you can add. Oh, you have to do 2 letters.
So it gets a little confusing with the adding letter. I think there's a couple ways we can do it. Piper?
So first you delete key, and then you add words or punctuation, and then you write the.
Great. So I think that would be an awesome way to do it. I can think of one other way too. Kaden?
Add word or punctuation.
Yes. So that's what Piper was saying. Add word and punctuation. Patrick? No. We're still in the. Yes. Yeah, so that's the other way that I thought I could maybe do it would be spell check. Because I think they might have just missed a T. But I like your idea as well, Piper. So you told me I would delete the word, so I would loop-de-loop through it, and then I would add a little hat.
Or a carrot.
Little hat or carrot, yes. And then, what did you tell me to add?
And then you add word or punctuation.
So I would add the. Awesome. Did anybody else see another one? Julian. They selves. Okay. Where? or punctuation, excuse me.
After it says teacher came up with the rules.
Yep.
And there's no punctuation.
What needs to go
There's
there?
punctuation.
So what should go there?
The circle with a dot.
Great. So are you telling me it should be Dora begun to understand how the teacher came up with the rules, period?
Yeah.
Great. And I circle it. Okay, can anybody else
But the
see?
period is there.
There wasn't a period actually. There was no period there, so that was correct punctuation. Can I have someone raise their hand and tell me either capitalization or punctuation? Tessa.
After pieces and out of the circle. There is a
After
period.
pieces, there is a period here. I know it's kind of hard to see where you're at. Yes, Piper.
Scaring someone to pieces. Follow. After follow, that after follow, that period has to become a comma.
But she had so many rules for the class to follow. I think the period works there, but this